Once again, since we had this Texas shooting, he's out there saying that, oh, the Republicans' prayers are not going to be enough. We need to ban assault weapons. We need to take action today. And the bigger question is, who are these people? Why are they killing people? Do they have mental health problems? And are they taking medication from Big Pharma? And I think we can check off all those boxes. And I think that is the major problem because, again, it has nothing to do with the weapon because anything can become a weapon, which we'll be talking about in just a sec. But this individual is Mauricio Garcia. Now, the Washington Post is putting headlines out that gunman in Texas mall shooting may have had neo-Nazi beliefs. Wall Street Journal, officials probe Texas mall shooter's possible link to white supremacy. So they're saying that this guy who's Spanish, who's Latin, they're saying that he's a Nazi and he's a white supremacist. Does that make any sense? Is anyone really believing this? The Patriot Voice put this out and said, this is the guy who murdered 9 innocent people yesterday in Allen, Texas, and that the mainstream media said is a white supremacist and a neo-Nazi. This guy, Mauricio Garcia. They think you are so damn stupid to believe whichever BS narrative they create. And he's absolutely right. This is getting ridiculous at this point. Charlie Kirk put this out and said, here are the Texas 3 recent mass murderers. So much white supremacy happening here. It's hard to fathom. In completely unrelated news, Joe Biden is getting rid of Title 42 on Thursday, and 700,000 illegals are expected to rush the border. And when you start to look at these, you say, well, wait a minute. These people are no way white supremacists. This doesn't even make sense anymore. But they don't care. They're pushing the gun ban. They don't care who's doing the crime. They're just going to push it as hard as they possibly can. Kevin Dalton put this out on Twitter. He said, in just 20 minutes, the Washington Post blamed 2 mass killings committed by Hispanic dudes on white supremacy and an SUV. We'll be talking about the SUV in a sec. And that's what I was talking about when I said anything can be used as a weapon. Tom Bavin put this out and said, weird how these big display highlighting and analyzing the Dallas shooter's white supremacist motives while the Nashville shooter's manifesto is still being kept under wraps. Yeah, how come we haven't seen the manifesto yet? But now the motive for this individual is neo-Nazi, it's white supremacist, it's everything that they want. It's the narrative that they're creating. I mean, even if a tree committed a crime, they would say it's white supremacist because it's made up of white supremacist trees. I mean, it's getting so ridiculous. It's just absolutely unbelievable. But think about what all these people have in common. They have mental health issues. Are they on drugs? See, this goes back to Big Pharma once again, because this individual, Mauricio Garcia, who opened fire in Texas, well, he was removed from the U.S. Army in 2008 due to mental health concerns. I think this tells you everything you need to know. And I do believe at this point, since Biden is expendable, I think they're going to be pushing everything they possibly have. And I do believe that the fake news has been instructed to pick up any news on a mass shooting and actually amplify it to push this agenda. And they're going to try to force the Republicans in the House to push gun legislation. We know the Senate most likely will, but they're going to try to push the House very, very hard and try to blame all of this on the Republicans. But I think the people are starting to realize who's responsible for this. And it has nothing to do with a weapon. It has nothing to do with an AR-15. It has nothing to do with a rifle or a semi-automatic weapon. It has to do with the person. It always goes back to the person. Why would a person do this? There's something wrong with this person. Just like if someone's stealing merchandise out of a store. Just like if someone is on a train and they decide to, kick the person. This has nothing to do with anything else except that person. They're mentally disturbed or they're a serial killer or a criminal. That's it. Doesn't matter if you have a weapon, if you have a knife, a gun, a car, because that person will still hurt someone. I mean, go back in time. There were no guns. What were people using? Oh, that's right. Knives, swords, clubs, rocks. And what were they doing? They were killing people. Killing a lot of people. Bow and arrows, you name it. So this has never ended, and it has nothing to do with the weapon. The only reason they want to get rid of the weapons is because they realize that they were supposed to have this entire agenda completed before Trump came into office. Actually, they thought it was going to be Hillary Clinton, and they thought they were going to have all the weapons away from the people. So they're way, way behind schedule, and they realize a country that has weapons, you can't control them. You can't take them over. You can't invade them. You can't invade them from within. It's completely impossible. And this is why they're now pushing everything they possibly have. And you can see with the pandemic, they thought they had it made. They thought, oh, all right, we're bringing them into the Great Reset, the Green New Deal.